Welcome to another edition of The Walking Dead.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of EPL Longshot.
Class is in session, hitting the books on Pub Sports.
This is another exciting edition of the main event on Talking Man. G'day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back. We're back at it, guys. PGA Pub, myself, my guy Conor Mac picks. We're back at it, guys. It's the Open. We're overseas to Europe. This is one of the last major of the season. Closing out the PGA Championship year. Connor, how's betting been? How's life been, buddy? How you doing?
Everything's been good. Golf betting's been good as well, and I'm hoping we end it well. You know, like last year, the majors have not been good to me. This year. Thank God I've had a few. Like I took Koepka 8-1. I had Hovland that first round Masters, but I mean it didn't win me a ton. So I'm looking for a winner. But what's going on with you? I heard you hit one here.
You know, talking about the majors, haven't hit an outright either, but we've been doing really well in the top 10s, top 20s, matchup bets, nationality props have been doing well. And we finally had an outright winner. It wasn't in the Scottish Open, guys. It was the old Barbasol. Get out the shaving cream because we had a winner, guys. Mr. Vincent Norman, 28-1. I was telling our guy T in the back there, he made a putt on 18, Connor. Literally did a 360 around the hole on 18 to make bogey. The guy literally almost made double bogey to lose the tournament. I was almost about to just lose it. And I didn't actually watch the championship overtime. I couldn't do it. And my old man texted me saying, "Congrats, son, you got a winner." So it was a profitable weekend, hitting the 28-1. But that was the past, guys. This Open Championship, Connor, I'm at all the majors, brother. To be honest, just having that night golf, having golf at 2 a.m, you're able to watch. Even at the Scottish Open, guys, that was real fun. Rory winning that one was another just gem of that putt he had on 18, his approach on 17 as well. So this night golf, this might be my favorite time of the year, to be honest, brother. Really looking forward to this Open Championship. And yeah,
me too. It's always I love golf. Middle of the morning here for me. So I love it.
Right. What is that? What's it going to be about midnight, 11 p.m. Eastern time?
Yeah.
Central or Pacific?
Yeah, that's around when it starts. Yeah, around 11 or midnight.
Fall asleep to golf. What's better than that? What's going on, everyone in the chat? Anyone in the chat, guys, throw the questions in there. It's been a while. We're glad to be back there. Trans Canada, good to see you. Everybody else, like I said, throw some questions there. Good to see everybody. We're going to get into some overview on the course here, guys. We're going to get into the Open Championship here. We're going from Scotland to England. We're going just up the road here, but northeast in Liverpool. It's actually called Hoylake in England there, just a small village. It's right on the coast. It's on the Irish Sea, guys. So you're playing a coastal course here, Royal Liverpool Golf Course. It was hosted the 2006 and the 2014, Connor, championship, and that was won by the Tiger Woods in 06 and Rory McIlroy in 2014. So it's not exactly a course I would say it's not like anyone can win. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy winning, that's 2 of your top golfers, right? So this is a golf course that's much flatter than the Scottish Open was. This used to be an old horse track back in 1869, guys. We dug deep for this. Then it was eventually transitioned into a golf course. That was very similar, actually, I believe, to the old course that was hosted the U.S. Open, Connor, last year. I believe one of the holes was a horse track. I guess that was very common back then. And then they transitioned it into a golf course. So that could be a good course comparison, actually. The U.S. Open last year, just being a very old course there in New York. That was when Matthew Fitzpatrick won. But they transitioned this, guys, into a nice golf course here, very flat. There's going to be a new 17th hole they designed here, Connor. It's a really nice hole. Looks out on the Irish Sea there. It's only 140 yards, but if you go long, you're pretty much OB. There's 2 pot bunkers on the right and the left, and the green's pretty much slope. It's kind of like a turtled green as well. It's a really cool hole, number 17. There's also a par 4 instead of a par 5. So they've changed the course up a little bit from 2014. There used to be a par 5, number 10, I believe it was, 500 and change. They've changed it to a par 4. It's about 504 yards. And they've lengthened some of the par 5s as well, number 15 and 18 there, Connor. Lengthened it by 100 yards. So it's from a 72 to a 71. They've added some length, which you have to in this day and age, right? Flat course, the wind will be felt. Yeah, like I was saying too about the course, Connor, the wind's going to be felt from everywhere, but we'll get into the weather, guys. There's not as much winds. It's early, it's Monday, but there's not as much wind as you'd think. It's going to be playing a little more wet. There's very hilly mounds in the fairway, so the ball can really go anywhere, and you're not going to have much rough to the fescue. So there's a lot of fescue all over this golf course. So when you get off that fairway, it's not like last year at the old course, the Scottish Open there. This is going to be tighter fairways. You're not going to be able to just spray it like Cam Smith did. You're going to catch a lot more fescue. It's really, you're not going to have much rough, Connor, to hit if you miss the fairway here. So guys like Colin Morikawa, you need that ball striking approach is definitely going to come into play with a soft golf course, and that's what we're probably going to have. Course sits off the Irish Sea, as I said, and then the new 17th hole, Connor, new 17th Little I, it's called. That should be a really pristine hole that the golfer's going to, being on 17 too, it's a make or break. You could birdie it or you could bogey, double bogey it kind of thing. So there should be some drama coming in at this course. The wind, like I said, guys, won't be felt like it was in 2014, Thursday, Friday. There was heavy winds. Like I said, looks to be playing wet. That's just going to make it tougher if you're in the rough, long, wet, difficult, especially out of the rough, and pot bunkers. So you're going to need the driving accuracy. I think it's total driving, they call it, ball striking approach. That's going to be really key here because these greens, guys, green size is not nearly as big as what you're used to seeing over in the British, over in Scotland. These greens are actually a lot smaller than you'd think. There might be a couple holes that take away from that, but for the most part, these are smaller greens. So there's a couple guys that come to my mind right away. We'll get into the golfers shortly.
Beautiful.
Yeah. What else do I want to talk about here, guys? Connor, do you got anything before I say some more stats here, or anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, there's always, like you said, days out what the weather will be like, especially when, of course, right there on the ocean, like you talked about, the Irish Sea. Yeah. So, yeah, there could be light winds that come in, and there's a ton of wind and rain. So it's always interesting here at the Open. Yeah. Real quick, we'll get into the guys, but you talked about how accurate they got to be on this course. And the last guy who won it, and then I believe he won the PGA right after. That's when the PGA would be after the British Open. Now the British Open's the last one, but that was the last time Rory, won a major. So 9 years ago, and he's red hot, and he led everything last week. He was like first in everything, total driving, everything, every fucking thing he had. So that's good for Rory, but a lot of heat I feel on him, maybe to win, especially at 7-1. So we'll get into that, but I was thinking about that.
Yeah, no, the weather report. I'll get into the weather right now, Connor, now that you bring that up. Thursday, it's going to be early morning drizzle, they're saying, and then it's going to clear up in the PM for the afternoon wave. And then Friday, the same thing, rain off and on in the morning. I guess that's just very common over there in Europe. If anyone in Europe can kind of let us know kind of weather projections, that'd be great. But rain early in the morning, also Friday, and then kind of clears up in the PM. It's going to only be about 14 to 16 Celsius. That's about 60 to 64 Fahrenheit for everyone in the States there. And then 10 to 15 kilometers, which is, that's only about 5 to 10 miles per hour wind. So the winds are not going to be much felt on Thursday, Friday, guys. And then looking at Saturday, Sunday, rain's going to be on and off all day pretty much. So the course is going to be playing softer. So you're going to need a little bit of distance, or you're going to be hitting a lot of longer irons than the average guy. And it most likely would be in the rough, Connor. It would be in the fescue, because the tighter the fairway, now you're not going to have maybe as much runoff, but being a flat course and all the hills, you're going to have crazy bounces. So it's going to be a course where I think you're going to need a little more, I wouldn't say scrambling from like the fescue from 150 out. I would say you need to be in the fairway. That's pretty much what it comes down to. If you want to be able to control the ball, because as you know, Connor, when you hit the rough or you're in the fescue, you can't control the ball coming into those greens, and they're smaller greens as well. So I think around the green is going to come into play with smaller greens. It usually does. So, but yeah, rain off and on for the most part, softer golf course. And then talking about who's won this tournament, guys, since 2007. There hasn't been an Asian golfer, no Japanese, Chinese, or Korean golfer has not won this. So just something to keep in mind. The USA has won 5 of these. The Europeans have won 6, and then non-USA Europe has won 3. So for the most part, it's been a European American winners. 11 of the last, what do we have here? 14 have been.
That's what I look for here too. And I don't even know. I'd have to double check. Did Matsuyama I don't want to look up his numbers. Has he had a top 10 here? Maybe the last year or two? But I
Uh,
don't even know that. So like somebody like that, there hasn't been at all. You mentioned the Asian
Bringing him
golfer.
up here quickly. He had last time he's 2017. He had a T14, T18, and a T6 in 2013. So he's missed the cut the last 3 years, and only a T68 to show for last year, Connor. So yeah, the Asian golfers and Sung Jae Im, he actually struggles for a guy. I would think this golf course would be perfect for guy who hits the ball really straight on a rope, but I'm just not too sure about them, and that stats definitely doesn't help them. Some stats here, a little model play you guys can maybe look at that can kind of cut down some golfers. The last 10 winners have been inside the top 40 official world golf ranking. Past 10 winners have also had one top 25 or better in the majors. So the last 3 majors, see if your golfers made at least the top 25 or better. And then the last 3 winners, 8 of the last 10 all played the Scottish Open or the Irish Open. So playing last week, for the most part, even if you missed the cut, you want to at least have a little experience going over to the Open.
Yeah, I think those are all marks that I kind of looked at and already have checked. 2 guys that fit that I'm betting on, and the only guy that didn't play last week, but he's one of the best golfers in the world. And I think as long as I can get 14-1, I'm looking at Rahm, and I get it. I just think the value's there. Him over there, how well he plays, and you're gonna get that price. I know he took the Scottish Open off, but other than that, the other ones, yeah, you want to look for those top 10 wins, and we'll get into these guys shortly. That will be zeroing in.
Let's get into some odds there. Well, you brought up John Rahm there. The odds so far, guys, top 10 odds for this Scottish Open, the Open Championship here at Royal Liverpool Golf Course. Rory McIlroy is the favorite, plus 650. We're looking at Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, Cam Smith, Victor Hovland, Brooks Koepka, Alexander Schauffele, Ricky Fowler, who's been playing great golf, Tommy Fleetwood, another guy. I remember last year, Connor, this guy was like 80, 90 to 1 in these tournaments. Look at him now, 22 to 1. Tommy Fleetwood, then you got Jordan Spieth, Hatton, and Lowry are some of the favorites there leading into this week. Defending champion, we'll talk about that too. Cam Smith, he won last year over in Scotland at the famous course there. Murakawa won the year before, and then Shane Lowry had it for 2 years because of the COVID. Imagine all the booze that was in that clear jug, eh? Holy Jesus. Look, let's get into some stats here, brother. Top golfers going to 2014. Top golfers, guys, 2014 at this golf course, Royal Liverpool. Number 1 was Rory McIlroy. 2, Ricky Fowler. Scott, Charles Schwartzel. He threw up for a top 7, T7 last year. Lowry, DJ, Molinari, Kirk, Bradley, Phil, Rose, and Harmon were all in the top 25 in 2014. And a couple of those golfers are playing very well right now. We'll get into that. Course comparison, I think another good course comparison would be Royal Birkdale in 2017. That was Spieth, Rory, Noren, Grace, Koepka, Stenson, Matsuyama, Xander, Scott Fowler, and Day. All those golfers seem to play quite well. So if any of those names come up, that would be, I would say that would check a couple boxes off the list. This is a key stat I was hearing from a lot of shows here, guys, and I think this is very important. When you have narrow fairways, when you have all that bounce in the fairway, Connor, you want to see, this is a crazy stat here, you want to see what your distance from the edge of the fairway is. So how far, when you're hitting the fairway, are you right near the edge of the fairway when you're hitting? Are you dead center? How far away from the fairway are you? You know what I mean? So because you need that accuracy. So if you're really good in that sense from distance from the edge of the fairway, if you're, in that top 50, that just tells me if you do miss the fairway a little bit, it won't be that much. Where if you are missing the fairway, or if you're just barely hitting it and you have a tighter golf course, you're probably going to be finding the rough, or you're going to be scrambling a little more. So Todd, this is a key stat, I think, going into this week, guys. Pretty much how far are your misses? Number 1, Colin Morikawa. Number 2 is Brian Harmon, Henley, Connors, M, Siwoo Kim, Tom Kim, Putnam, Cantlay, Hoagie, Rahm, Nick Taylor, Hatton, Hovland, and Seamus Power are all the top 15 there, guys, that are just, when they hit the fairway, they're pretty much dead nuts right in the middle of the fairway. They're not going to miss by much because with all the runoffs, you got to be pretty much.
What about the runoff, though? If we're going to be real wet, we're not going to have that. So if it was dry and hot.
Yeah, I agree. You're not going to have as much, but the fairways are so like when you hit that fairway, it's gonna, and with the wind, they're gonna try and go a little bit lower, so it's not gonna run off as much. But you're gonna, for the most part, you're gonna have some crazy bounces. Even so, The closer you are in the fairway, the more likely you're not going to, because if you're left or right and you hit those hills and mounds, who knows where the hell you're going. At least give yourself a chance by hitting the middle of the fairway and hope to catch at least some part of that fairway, just because it's very, very dicey in that sense where you're going to have some awkward lies. And then the fescue is pretty much on every hole here. But yeah, that's a great point. It's not going to be it could be worse. That's for sure. So that's where I think the second shot, Connor, is going to be really key here. That approach shot is going to be very important. We'll get into some stats there shortly here, guys. So we just went over distance from the edge of the fairway. Let's talk about some top Europeans here, brother. Last week at the Scottish Open, I'll go over the top. I think I have top 7 Europeans that played well, just for guys that don't know these names. McIntyre, you guys probably know him. He shot 9 under, I believe it was, or 6 under in very tough conditions, almost won last week. Dan Hillier, he also played very well, tee to green. Matthew Southgate, Jordan Smith, Matt Wallace, Victor Perez, Alex Bjork, and then Lasagna, I call him Legaski or something. He's a Frenchman there. He played very well as well. So those are some names. I'm going to have a couple of those guys in the top 40 bets. But Connor, let's get into some meat and potatoes here. Do you want to lead off any golfers you're looking at so far?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on right from the beginning is Jon Rahm. You know, especially if I can get 14-1. It's just kind of a value when we're seeing him under 10-1, 7-1, 8-1, and then you catch him here. And he loves playing golf over here. I mean, we've seen over the years how well. I mean, he wins or at least top 10. So you give me if I can find 14-1, I see 13-1s a lot of places. I think I could find it too. I just got to look around. He's at the top as we start to head on down.
Yeah, Jon Rahm. I'll go over some things I have about Jon Rahm for you guys as well. Where is he here? Look at this. So I'll go over some key stats. I think that's going to be very important here, Connor. Total driving, ball striking, distance from edge of the fairway. This is another thing. Aon risk reward. That's a little stat there. Pretty much guys that kind of have some balls that are going to go for something. Shots gained approach. That's very important. Scrambling around the green. And then last five outings are you gaining strokes on the field. Jon Rahm's 12th, 4th, 25th, 26th, 3rd, but then 74th and 79th. So he's almost a little better than average, and that's around the green. So the only issue would be just around the green. But you're right. His distance from edge of the fairway, he's in the top 15. So I don't mind that Rahm play. He hasn't been playing as well, and that's why we're getting the better number on him. So I don't mind that Rahm play at all. I'll get into one of the golfers I'm looking at right here. I'll get into my favorite. I'm looking at, you know what? I got to go back to him here, and that's going to be Tyrrell Hatton. He played very well last week. It was I think it was a Friday there, Connor. He kind of slipped up, but you know, Tyrrell Hatton, he's T6.
He had a bad Sunday too. He wasn't very good on Sunday, I think, as well.
Yeah, let me pull it up here now. That's
if
we're talking, if we're giving everyone the goods here, we really got to come through. Let me just bring it up here really quick here, guys. Scottish Open. Looking at what he did there, he was 69, 71. So yeah, he was 2 under. He was 1 under on Friday, plus 1 on Saturday. That's what hurt him. Then he was minus 8 on Friday. So he's so close. If he didn't have that 71, Connor, I think, you know, he still was 6 back, but Hatton's so close, just like Fleetwood is, and we're actually getting a better number. How crazy is that? We're getting a better number on Hatton than we are Fleetwood. It's very close to being the same. I found
what number do you have?
I found 28-1.
Yeah, that's about as best as I see.
Yeah,
too, and I think he's going to move lower a little. I think a little bit. Like I think he's going to drop, and I like him at the 28-1 because I think he could end up down to 22-1 or 20-1. He's just the hot pick. He's been knocking at the door, but get him there if you can, because the value starts to lose. I think the more we head to 20-1.
And Tommy Fleetwood, guys, like he's been really, really close, but I think his number is definitely inflated. Don't get me wrong, he loves playing over here. You know, Englishman hasn't won since '94 with Faldo, but I think with how good of the Englishmen we have here, you know, Rose, Fitzpatrick, Hatton, and so on and so forth, I really think that they do have a chance. Just the odds on Fleetwood compared to Hatton, I'll take Hatton. I think he has more upside than Fleetwood. Fleetwood has not won on the PGA Tour too, guys. So This is the PGA Tour still, just it's not in USA, Canada, but yeah, I got to go with Hatton here. It's just he needs to just not have that blow up round. I think he's going to be able to battle these conditions as well. Give me Tyrrell Hatton, guys, 28-1. We're also taking him on the top 10 markets. We got him plus 240. And then I'm taking him first round leader as well. I think he can carry over that strong performance. He checks off all the boxes too, playing the Scottish Open. He's had top 25s at the 3 majors, and he's in the top 40 of the official world golf rankings. So let's start our ticket off with old Tyrrell Hatton. It's probably going to be a pretty popular pick. My next one definitely is not. Connor, I want to go to you first. Do you got another one, or do you want me to just get into my next one? You let me know.
Let's get into this guy. I'm going to skip one here. I'll come back to him because I just think can he get finally a major win, because he's a guy that checks all these off.
Are you going to say
Patrick Cantlay?
Oh, he said it.
Patrick Cantlay. And the reason why here is at 25-1, I don't like it, but I just saw like William Hill, some of these weird books, they hang just crazy numbers like on a Monday early on. 33-1. Like I just got to put something on Patrick Cantlay, 33-1. Like, and because I don't know what he's going to do here, but at that number, he's too high up on everything. The top 10 in the majors before, everything we listed, top 40 golfer ranking, all that bullshit you gave out earlier. The great stats, I mean to say, not bullshit. But he's there, and at that price, it's just wild. It's just a guy I got to take, 30, especially at 33-1. Can't wait.
He's coming off a missed cut. Last time he missed a cut, guys, with the Phoenix Open. What did he do the next week? The Genesis came third. This guy doesn't miss many cuts. All he does is like he's really a top golfer. You're usually going to see this guy from like 15 to maybe 22-1. If it was over here in the USA, you would not get anything close to this. So I already took him. I think that's great that Connor was also on Cantlay or was looking at Cantlay, because I pulled the trigger already, guys. 30-1. You can get 33. I would jump on that too. I think that number would drop to at least 25, because most people in the sports, in the golf world, like Connor says, you see that number, you almost got to just go. He's number 1 in total driving. He's 3rd in ball striking, 16th from 16th in distance in the middle of the fairway, 3rd in A on risk reward, 23rd in approach, 44th around the green, and he's like top 5 in his last 5 outings, strokes gained in the field. So, like, what's going on there, JT? Good to see you. I have to take Cantlay here. Just kind of like just live with it. 30. His like compared to Xander, like him and Xander, I think would be similar. You're getting 27. I'm seeing on Xander. So give me a couple extra bullets there, a couple extra a bit of better odds there on Cantlay, guys. 30-1. Taking him first round leader as well, brother. I think he can come out hot here. Missing that cut. He's been there for a while as well. He played the Scottish. He's actually been playing well too at the Scottish. I was just going to bring that up. He was T8 last year at the Scottish Open. Gained a lot of strokes putting. He's had a T12, T41, and a missed cut. So we're pulling the trigger. I love that Connor's on it or looking at it as well. First round leaders 40-1, and then the top 10 is going to be plus 250. So we're rolling the dice here with our guy Patty Ice, as they used to call him. They all call him.
Get it done.
Yeah, he just needs to get it done. And no, I feel like not many people are going to be talking about it. Maybe after the show they will, Connor. But it's a guy that, especially those odds, the bookmakers are kind of saying, no, we're not. We think Cantlay's not going to do it. He hasn't won a major, not going to be today. Well, we'll see about that. So that's number 2 on my list. You got another one, Connor? Or?
Yeah, I just real quick with Cantlay, he just checks everything.
Go ahead.
It's just like you got to pull the accuracy, just everything. He doesn't mind even playing over here, all that stuff. It's just like at that price, I got to live with it. You know what I mean? I would KO myself. He won, and I didn't have 33-1 on him. And like we talked about, this could drop. And either of the books, like right now, DraftKings, some of them don't give the best lines with golf, have 25-1. So, look around. But over the 30-1 mark, you got to look at him. Next guy is Colin Morikawa. Over 35-1 too. I don't know if you go crazy here, but at that, he's knocking. He's there. Like, I just think he's going to win. He's already won over here. He's won a British Open. He's so accurate. It's just like, can the putts drop? Can he be solid around the green because he's so accurate? And when that happens, he can roll. And I over 35-1, basically you can get him everywhere, almost 40-1. I think you got to take a little shot here with Morikawa.
Yeah, this is I love Morikawa. This is the issue I had with Morikawa. What was it here? Distance from edge of the fair, or was it just no? Sorry, Aon risk reward. He's 98th, but around the green 190th. That's where
Yeah,
he's
we
gonna
talk about it a lot with
issues.
him. Yeah.
But not just that, Connor. I just looking at the golf course. There's a left to right, right to left. There's like 6 or 7 dog legs kind of off the tee where you're gonna have to kind of shape the ball. And for the most part, like when Colin has to start moving the ball, I like sometimes he starts losing it. All of a sudden, he's got the hooks. He's not drawing the ball. Like if there's more left to right, I think that's better for him when he can play that fade. But if he has to all of a sudden start trying to go right to left or start trying to move the ball off the tee, that's where I was kind of like, I don't know. Like I think a more straighter golf course is what Colin is going to thrive on, just like a Corey Connors, who I'll get into here in a little bit. I think they need kind of that straighter golf course. I think Corey actually shapes the ball. I might sound crazy, but a little bit better than Morikawa. Like I've seen him move the ball. I just don't know how Morikawa is going to move the ball off the tee if he's going to be able to still hold it in the fairway. But like his stats, he's top 5 in approach and even hitting the fairway this year. So that's that's just my own personal opinion there, I guess you could say. But I don't mind Morikawa. I'm not fading him by any means.
Yeah, and like if we were talking him, and he's playing pretty good golf. Ricky just beat him in the playoffs. Still hasn't won this year. Obviously, fell apart in Hawaii with the big lead to Rahm. I just think you get over almost 40-1. It's kind of like you got to take him. Like he's not 25-1 where he's been or less in some of these spots. So yeah, just a value spot here with Morikawa over 35-1.
I hear that. Talk about the holes here, guys. We didn't go hole by hole about the golf course. There's only 3 par 5s. The par 5s aren't as prevalent as they are in the past. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 par 3s, and then a whole bunch of par 4s. The par 5s are going to be 609, 620, the ones they've added length on, and then only 520, number 5. So that's going to be very doable. Par 3s are 201, 136, which is that really cool new hole. What else do we have here? 194 and 218. So for the most part, longer par 3s. And then number 10 is the altered 507 par 4. Used to be a par 5. But for the most part, it's a lot of I think shot shaping is going to be important off the tee, to be honest here. Distance, you're going to have runoff. You're going to have some bounce in the fairway, even if it is kind of damp. It's very flat, so you're not playing on it's just I don't think it's going to kind of be in the wetlands. Like you're not going to have much. It's going to still be dry. Like it's a very dry course, so kind of water doesn't absorb, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's going to absorb very well here. So I still think it's going to be pretty dry despite. But yeah, I don't mind that play with Morikawa. My third golfer, guys, I'm looking at here. It's going to be, let me just pull it up here. It's going to be Dustin Johnson. This is where I'm looking at some live guys. You know what? DJ, I just think just the DJ style of golf and how he's been playing recently. This is more where I'm going with before I ramble about nothing there, Connor. Dustin Johnson. The live guys, they just played July 9th in London. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. That's literally a week before this major, 2 weeks before. So what did DJ do? He was 5th. He was T8 at the Velarda, and he was T10 at the U.S. Open. He's playing good golf. He's gaining strokes on the field. He has the experience. He's won majors before. And what has he done in the Opens? He's been damn good. T6 last year, T8 the year before that. He's missed 1 cut, 2 cuts, and 14 years he's been going there. So he plays very well over here. And I found a number, Connor, only 34-1. I thought it was a little bit better, but I think people might be betting DJ here. Just that playing well at Live, playing well in the Live Tour, playing well in London, playing good on the Live Tour, 10th at the U.S. Open. He won at Tulsa as well. You know what? Some of these live guys, now that they're all won, I could see one of these live guys maybe winning this week. So I have a couple more live players actually this week, but we're going to start it off with DJ, just really good at the Opens. He, what did he do in 2014? He finished T12 at this event when he did play it in 2014. So he's got good course experience here. I think he fits the bill. So I'm going to go DJ, guys, to win this thing, 34-1. I'm not going to take him first round leader. I'm leaving him off the card first round leader. I think I want him 4 rounds. Even if the weather does get a little bit tough, he can rip it off the tee. His approach over 4 rounds, I think he's going to be better than most. So give me DJ in 4 rounds. And then I'm also going to take, it's like a fight, 4-round fight. And I'm taking DJ, guys, plus 300, top 10 as well there. Flash, yes, DJ, Bryson, and Colin. Look at that. You know what? I might as well bring up my next guy here because that's all 3 of them right there, Flash. C-Mac said Colin. I just went over DJ, and another golfer I'm going to have is Bryson. You know what? Where did he win? Wingfoot over there, and it was kind of a very kind of linksy style where if wind comes into play, I still think he's going to have enough distance off the tee. He's playing good golf as well. Our guy DeChambeau, I think they're just kind of being not slept on by any means. He was T11 at London, second at the Spanish event, T20 at the US Open, T4 at the PGA, fifth at Tulsa, ninth at DC. Like some of these,
he's just finally playing better golf.
Yes,
he is. So
exactly, brother.
His value, I think, as well. I think a top 10 look. Yeah, too.
60 to 1. So you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. It's hard to find a lot of stats on these live guys, so I'm really going just kind of off their form and what I've kind of been seeing. The course too. I think the course is going to be perfect for DeChambeau, to be honest. Playing in these in the link style where it's going to be softer too. So I think his distance is going to help him, and he seems to be in the right place right now. So DeChambeau, I am going to be taking him as well. First round leader. I believe I'm a first round leader. No, I don't actually. That's another golfer I'm going to trust over 4 rounds. I think they're ready. They haven't. This is another thing I wanted to bring up. Live golfers, Connor. They just at this point of the time when the season's this far in, they haven't been playing much golf. This is only going to be like their 13th, 14th round. For some of these other guys, they might be pushing 18, 19 in the PGA. So in my opinion, I think at this point in time, these live golfers they're fresh. They're fresh. Exactly. You know, they're fresh. Thank you. I can't even talk. I just got so much up here. I can't even get it out. They're just fresh. Exactly. And they've just played at London. It's literally, you can't ask for a better comp for these live golfers. So that's why I'm on DeChambeau and I'm on DJ. Is there any other golfers you want to go over?
Yeah. Well, it's tough to go back to back. You know, you got off the top. We won last year with Cam Smith. At just around 16 to 1. I don't want, but those 3 I don't mind. DJ, we were on him in the US Open. You know, you didn't get it done, but top 10, like you talked about, he's been playing well. Yes. DeChambeau, and even Koepka, if you can get to around 20 to 1, that's where he's at. We just know what he does in the majors. So it's just, I think at 20 to 1, you can even look at Brooks Koepka too. And I will.
Yeah, and I don't blame that. Like he missed the cut in 2022, but before that, 6th and 21. In 2019, he was 4th. 2017, he was 6th. So yeah, when he's on, and you can obviously tell he's won twice this year, one being a major. So I don't mind that price at all. I guess the better price I got 60 to 1 with DeChambeau and then 34. You know, compared to the, but there's good reason why Koepka is 20 to 1, right? But I'm going to go over my last live golfer here, Connor. We didn't bring him up here. I've had him in a lot of majors. I think you have as well. He plays well in the majors. He's won the Masters, and we all know who he is. Our favorite golfer, Mr. America, Captain America, Patrick Reed. Patty Reed. I think this is going to be just fine for Patrick Reed. His golf game, Connor, T5 in Spain, T2 at London, T18 at the PGA when it was tough. I'm telling you, he's very close. He has a T4 at the Masters. Like the tougher the conditions, I think it's going to be tough conditions too, and that's going to fit right into Patrick Reed, in my opinion. His game, especially around the greens, shouldn't make as many bogeys, especially double bogeys. He just played live, coming second. You know what? At 80 to 1, some people I found 100 to 1 on Reed. I think just he's another one. Him, DeChambeau,
value,
and Reed, for how well they're playing and the value, exactly, Connor. I had to pull the trigger, and I am taking Patrick Reed first round leader, 75 to 1, 80 to 1 outright. And I'm taking Reed as a top 20 plus 260.
I like that. I was even going to reach here. I see a plus 625 on top 10. I don't know if I get there, but I was looking at that with him. So don't mind it, playing really well right now, Patrick Reed.
Yeah, exactly. And look at how he's done at the Open Championships. T47, he had a 10th in 2019, 2015 T20, T12 in 2016. So I just think his game's really close right now. Is he going to win? At 80 to 1, I can sprinkle. I think the top 20 guys is a solid play there. Plus 260, or whatnot there. What was there? Plus 260. So that's another golfer. I think that's 5 there, guys. I got 2 more. I'm going to go over here, Connor, before we get out of here. Do you have any golfers you want to talk about?
I'm just going to hit some top 10s and 20s. So if you want to go before we bounce real quick.
Go ahead. I got some time.
It's just McIntyre. These are top 10s and 20s. I'm looking at Hogart, Olsen, Nick Taylor you brought up, Dietrich. These are guys all, I don't know if I take them to win, but I'm going to have 10s and 20s on them just to throw out before we get going. Shout out to the chat real quick. Flash, Nut Flush, my dude. Talk sports with JT. Nasty Nate. My guy Nuke Worker. Got to have some beers with my dude. Nuke Worker in Vegas. Justin, what's up, my dude? He doesn't bet golf, but he is here. Aubrey D. 420. What's up, my man? In Trans Canada. Finish it up, my guy. On your left.
Yeah, guys. Nut Flush. Anytime you're in the area, by all means, grab a beer. A couple more golfers to go over. Justin Rose. You know what? Justin Rose. I'm taking this. Is gonna be my two Englishmen. I got Hatton guys and I got Rose. I think at 51-1. He didn't make the cut last week, but you know what? I don't mind that. He's a golfer that's playing really well. Last time he missed a cut was the U.S. Open. What did he do at the British Masters? T4. Whereas this course, you know, it's right there. Like he's going to his hometown, not his hometown, but he's an English golfer as well. He's had an 8 at the RBC, T9 at the PGA, T16 at the Masters. He's also won this year, so he's proven he can win. 2014, he finished T23. He's had a T2 in 2018. You know what? I think he can. Out of all the English golfers, this is probably the best number in my opinion we're getting on 51-1. I found here 55 now with Rose. Just because he missed the cut last week, guys. Same with Fitzpatrick. It's between Fitzpatrick and Rose, but I'm gonna go with Rose here. His approach. He's been so close, Connor. The one thing with Fitzpatrick, I know his brother played this course back at the 2019 Walker Cup, so maybe give him a little bit of information. But I just think he's just really close right now, guys, with Justin Rose. Some more stats here before I go on about it. 49th total driving, 61st in ball striking, 17 shots gained approach. That's key. Scrambling around the green, 29th. So. And he's playing in his hometown, like in his home base where he grew up playing golf, right? And he's been playing. He just came off a T4 at the British Masters, so he's ready. He lost a bit of strokes around the green, still came T4. Weaker field, don't get me wrong, but 55-1. Sprinkle a little bit on Rose, and he's another guy that can go low early. 55-1. Take him first round leader, and we're also sprinkling him as a top 10. I'm taking Rose as a top 10 here, plus 450. I think he can battle these conditions as well. So. That's going to be the sixth golfer. I got one more. It's going to be Brian Harman, guys. This is going to be my big bomb here. The old Harm dog, Georgia Bulldog, that is. He's a golfer that's just – like, listen to this, Connor. 36 total driving, 22nd ball striking, third distance from the fairway, 43rd Aeon, 82nd approach, 7th scrambling around the green. And he's also finished – he's very strong at this event. He finished T26 back in 2014. And then looking at course comparisons, he did well also at the Royal Birkdale. Like I said, good distance missed from around the fairway. Brian Harman, he did well at the Scottish Scottish Open. Or sorry, what did I say?
You said Brian Harman?
Brian Harman, my bad. Yeah, it is Brian Harman. Yeah, Brian Harman. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Brian Harman. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting all confused here. T2, T9, T12. That's his last three events. He's putting lights out. His approach has finally gotten a lot better. If you look at what he was doing at the beginning of the year, he almost won at 150-1. I'm just going to sprinkle Connor, $3 or $4, walk out with a couple bills. And then we're taking him first round leader as well. He's going to be at 80-1 and then a top 20 plus 320 on Brian Harman, the old lefty. Yeah, that's going to close out the 7-pack, guys. Before I get out of here, we got a couple more minutes. I'm going to go over first-round leaders. Matchup bets, guys, are going to be coming out on Tuesday. I'll bring them out on Tuesday because it's an early tee time. They'll be going out early for Connor on the West Coast and about 2 in the morning on Thursday for me on the East Coast. So those will be out Tuesday. Matchup bets. First-round leaders. Let's do it here, guys. A couple I haven't brought up yet. Keegan Bradley. We all know how he can do early, Connor. He's a ball striker, too. The wet conditions, he should be fine. Smaller greens. He'll be a pin seeker. Who's another pin seeker I was talking about? Corey Connors. Corey Connors, I think, can come out strong here. First-round leader. Keegan was 80-1. Connors is 75. Golfer who just won recently, Sepp Straka from Europe here over in Austria. I'm taking him first-round leader as well, guys. 100-1. Jordan Smith. We're digging here, guys. He did well last week at the Scottish Open. He's an Englishman as well. Not Cam Smith, Jordan Smith. 130-1 first-round leader. Dan Hillier. I've been watching this guy. He's does really well in the DP World Tour. I'm taking him 130-1 first-round leader. And then old Victor Perez. Guy likes to do well in majors early, I think. 130-1 on Vic Perez, along with Reed, Harman, Rose, Hatton, and Cantlay. Connor, excellent. That was fun, brother.
Always. Shout out to our guy, Banana and Grapes. I see you, my dude. And to Nut Flush, Caden, 82.79. Unbelievable to see a kid just started playing golf. Like, I don't know, less than 2 years, a year and a half.
Keep us updated there, Mike. I love to hear how
playing
Caden's
that
doing.
well. Yeah.
That's great.
Shout out to Nut Flush.
Especially if he can. Imagine if Caden goes off to school for golf. Oh, that's like my ultimate dream. I'm just going to live through Caden for the next 10 years. So
yeah.
That's awesome. Shout out to Caden playing well. 82.79. I was 82.80 on the weekend. So
nice.
Caden, he's
playing well.
Yeah, exactly.
Break that 80 there.
If you keep the ball, I had triple bogey double to start. Then I had 4 birdies. I was just losing the ball off the tee. But anyway, that's for another story, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Open Championship here at Pub Sports Radio, PGA Pub Hub. Be sure to follow us, like, subscribe for everything we do here, guys. UFC, MLB, Jimmy the Bag's got a show every day, 11 p.m. So it's a great channel to subscribe if you like sports betting. Check us out, guys. Then myself, Ego47_ on Twitter. That's you can find all my picks, and then Conor Mac picks on Twitter as well. When we're going to be back next, check us out on Twitter. We'll let you guys know the next big
we'll be back.
Will be it's going to be the playoffs, so it'll probably be maybe mid-August there, guys. Look out for us. Maybe for the BMW Championship, the St. Jude Championship, one of the 3 majors there, guys. Look for us. So until then, hit them straight, be good, guys, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.